Hey everybody, and welcome back to another version of My Car's Broken Because It's Lowered. Let's try that again. Hey everybody, welcome back again. I'm underneath my car and something's broken as usual because, as we all know, lowered cars are cool until they smash into things like curbs and sidewalks and humans and dogs and, you know, low hanging bits of things that purposely smash into your bottom of your car. Yeah, well, I broke an oil pan. I thought a skid plate was gonna help, and it did, but unfortunately it didn't help enough. So sorry about the weather. As you can kind of see, it looks like it's about to end out here. So I'm going to try to make this kind of fast. Unfortunately, I don't know what the weather's going to do, so I'm going to do kind of a quick tutorial on pulling this pan off and putting it back on. I just don't know what the weather's going to do, so I guess let's get started and show you guys kind of the ins and outs, how to take this thing off and put it back on. Okay, we are back. God, this weather's terrible. Basically, so I slammed into something pretty hard. I think it was coming into Walmart. I must have went over a curb a little too fast. They're in Utah. They got these big divot things in front of their drives, in front of, like, when you pull off of a highway. I don't know if it's for water or for what it is, but I slammed into it and the skid plate protected it. But unfortunately, I'll show you guys here. Right here, it's kind of hard to see, but there it's draining. That's where the bolt's out. Don't worry about that. Right here and in the back, it cracked it and put about a thumbnail sized divot right here. And I thought about trying to weld it, but I kind of thought against that, considering that the thing is pretty old and the casting is pretty original and frankly looks a little rough. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna replace it, and which I have, with a new one, and which is really weird because if anybody can tell me this, please do. The original has this cover right here, which you can take this off. Now, what doesn't make sense is why they put this here, because the V6s don't have their low level oil sensors here, like in the 1.8 turbos. They're in a different spot, unless I'm missing something. If anybody knows more about this, PM me or message me or leave a question in the comments and let me know, because this is very, very odd. In the replacement I have right here, you can see that there's just these little divots and this section, and on the back side nothing, just that. And so not really entirely sure why that's there, but if anybody knows, you could give me a heads up and let me know. Yeah, that'd be great. But anyway, this pan right here is coming off, and I'm gonna get everything loosened up here, and then I can give you guys kind of idea of what to do. And I will be using a black RTV sealant for this, since they don't give you a gasket, and if they do, I didn't get it. So I'm gonna get that started, and I'll kind of give you guys an idea of where everything is, and I'll see you in a minute. Hey everybody, we are back. Sorry that took a minute. It always takes time when, you know, the weather's a pain, but this really wasn't as bad as the sorry about that, I got just that. There you go. This isn't as bad as the 1/8 where you have to take you got bolts up by the bell housing, and you practically had to pull it over the cross arm that goes across underneath from side to side, and you got to yank it over that and disconnect the engine and the transmission, inject the engine up. This is by far the easiest pan I've taken off. I'll show you guys here kind of an idea of what I'm looking at. Basically, right up here in this area, where's the pan, and it's your oil pump right here. It's your oil pump right here. Collection, your metal meshes inside here. You got your chain tensioner, which is up in here. But this is kind of the general area, and you got all your bolts. You got one here. You got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got about 12, 15 bolts that go here all the way around, all the way up to top, and then back down. Very easy to get to. The only thing I had to do was disconnect the sway bar, and it just drops out of the way. 2 bolts, both sides, easy, and it drops out of the way. Super simple. But yeah, there's your oil pump. If you ever need to change it, it's here. That'll be another day. I don't know when I'll ever do this. Maybe I'll just do it for the heck of it. But yeah, make sure you always take and you want to clean all this gunk off of here. Make sure you have a good clean service. I'm going to show you guys here what we're going to be using to do the pan, and do a little comparison on how the pans look. Sorry about that. How the pans look and how they compare, because I honestly thought they'd be better, but the one that's on here actually was a lot worse than I thought. So let's check that out. Okay, so we pulled these pans off, and we're going to be looking at these two real quick here to kind of give you a side-by-side. Now, the one pan is an OEM, the other pan is an actual one from just NAPA. And so I'm going to be kind of showing you what 160,000 miles on this pan looks like compared to the new one. Because it's a pretty big difference. Is there something on the lens there? Looked like it was a little dirty. Compared on the two. So look down here. This is our new pan. Pretty decently for the most part. Really, the only difference is that this is capped and this has a cap. And so I'm not entirely sure why that has one and this one doesn't. I probably looked that up in my Haynes manual to see. I don't really know why. The old one came with a gasket. Now this gasket I cleaned off is in actually not too bad a condition. There's a little wear around the edges. But I'm going to reuse this, and I'm just going to use RTV sealant, black RTV sealant, and I'm just going to seal this whole thing and reuse it just for the sake that they didn't give me one, and I don't really feel like going to buy one. So I'm a broke college student, for crying out loud. I don't have any money. The other pan basically, and sorry about that, I've been having a nasty cold for like a week now, and it's terrible. The other pan here basically, I'm not sure if you guys can see or not, but down here, I got oil in there. It might be kind of hard to see, but even back here, there's cracks all along inside here on this bend. And I'm not sure if this was work hardened or what, but there's cracks all in here, here, and here. There's a lot of spider cracks all along these edges, all inside the pan, all the way down in here. If I drain this kind of down this way, you can kind of see the serial number there. The serial number, and deep and right in there you can see there's a lot of deep cracks. Even down here towards, if you wipe that oil away a little bit, you can kind of see there's cracks even by where the bolt is, which is not good. So there's cracks all through here. Now whether or not these were what came out of casting or whatnot, it's kind of hard to say. But if we take and we flip this thing over real quick here, you can see that this is the underneath. There's the German all OEM plate, but you can tell it's pretty rough. It's been on there a while, and a lot of these cracks have been there. Either going to get worse or what, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's a lot of oil dripping out right there. But as you can tell, if you look right, this spot right here is cracked, and I think this is where I hit, and this is where the divot is, right there. And you can tell it's the size of my fingernail. It's not even big, but this whole thing is cracked, and the surface as well is pretty rough. And so compared to that one to this one, I think we're gonna go with this one. So we're gonna get started putting this guy back on, and I'll see you.
Tell me what you see, so I see it too. Teach me a language, so I'll talk with you.
Well, we're back. That went good, and everything looks good. Everything under the car looks to be in order. I had a few issues with the screws, but I had to kind of adjust the pan. Sway bar went back on, as you can tell, and all we have to do now is put the sway bar on, and this weekend we're going to be putting, hopefully, we're going to be putting new rubber on those RS4 rims, and we're going to be putting those on the Audi. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and next time I'm going to be doing something exciting. Tune in. See you later.